Hey everybody, welcome back to the Highland Fox. This week we're talking about the British Grand Prix, which Lewis Hamilton basically owns.
So, I had a feeling, we both had a feeling, everyone kind of was expecting kind of a banger of a race, and we were not disappointed.
Best race of the season.
Yeah, I thought from start to finish, lots happening, strategy-wise, car-wise, DRS trains.
Rain.
I just thought it was a, perfection of a race. This was Hamilton's first win since 2021.
2021.
So 2.5 years.
That is so weird to say.
And he broke the all-time winning streak at one race.
Yeah.
One track?
One track. Yeah, he's got 9 wins at the same track. Schumi had 8 wins in France at the French track. It wasn't Paul Ricard, it was some other one. But he's now tied with Schumi as most wins in his home country because Schumi's got 9 wins in Germany, a couple different tracks, and then Hamilton has 9 wins in England, which is really exciting.
So this was a fun one. It was super emotional to see him win at his home race. Finally, he was emotional. Everyone was crying. I loved it. I cried, obviously. So yeah.
Which is weird because there was no point in this race did we know who was going to win. I feel like the last couple of years we've been like, all right, it's going to be Max. And when Max goes out, we're like, okay, well, it's going to be it's really obvious who's leading. But this, Russell led, Norris led, Verstappen led, Piastri led, Hamilton led.
Yeah.
And at any point you were like, actually, I don't know if Verstappen did lead this race. I don't think he ever did.
No, but he was so close. At one point he was second, so I was like, oh,
yeah, he'll get it. But
and then at that one point, I was like, if Verstappen and Norris take each other out because the McLarens had just pitted, I was like, does he move up?
Yeah.
Now, probably not because he wasn't a very slow Ferrari today. But it was very questionable about who was taking home the win. Super exciting.
Yeah. What made it better was there was rain in the middle of the track. So or the middle of the race. So we had the beginning was all dry, and then it got wet for a little bit, and ended dry. So it really kept the order pretty mixed up and led to a lot of interesting strategies. And once Lewis Hamilton got in the front, we looked at each other and were like, the one person I would not want to chase at Silverstone
in the rain
is Lewis Hamilton. And he did what he does best. And once he got in the lead, he managed it. Verstappen was on a charge, ended up passing Norris for second. He got within 2 seconds of Hamilton, but Hamilton's home race, he's not going to lose.
It was a good one. I think he manages his tires so well, and you could see that him versus Lando on that last 10 laps. They were both on softs, and Hamilton just did a phenomenal job of managing, keeping a distance enough that he's not pushing too hard, and it was nicely done.
You saw the 103 wins come out when he was in the lead. You're like, oh, he's done this before. And you could really see him. The most exciting stat, though, I think, from Hamilton's win today is that's now the 6th different driver that has won in 12 races this season. That is insane.
So from, first race this year of being like, oh, yeah, Max is taking it, and now here we are. It's June, July.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's a fun year.
It's insane. Max has increased his championship lead, which is crazy. But Red Bull with Perez again not scoring again and getting out in Q1 again. It's literally Max versus Mercedes and McLaren because Ferrari's got their own problems now. We'll talk about that. But McLaren's legit now.
Yeah, they're looking good. And then Mercedes did look good. Russell ended up retiring the car. They had a water systems failure.
Yeah.
So, but Mercedes won last week too.
Did, yeah.
So Mercedes is looking good. McLaren looks really fast.
Yeah.
They have 2 pretty consistent drivers as well. So yeah, I think
it was probably 2021 the last time a non-Red Bull team won back-to-back. Because I'm trying to think when last time Red Bull hasn't won 2 races in a row.
Yeah.
It's probably 2021. That's insane. We thought, I agree. This whole season was going to be a blowaway. But you're really starting to see it all converge, and it's pretty exciting. We'll glance over this really quick because everything you guys Google for the next 2 weeks until the next race is going to be, does Hamilton regret leaving Mercedes now for Ferrari? I'm going to say no. He's at the end of his career. Ferrari's still Ferrari. Ferrari's going down. Mercedes is looking up. Who knows?
It's anyone's game, but I think he always said like it would be cool to race for Ferrari. So I don't think he's regretting it. I think he's glad that this is his last season with Mercedes. At least it's going out not in a failure. You know, like at least he can say, because like if that was his last season at Mercedes, that would have been like awful taste in your mouth.
Right.
But now it's like, no, you know, you're leaving on a good note.
Yep.
Who knows what's going to happen with Ferrari? But I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah. You know who's not happy with Ferrari right now, though? Leclerc. They put him on the test. His first 2 practices were the test spec because the upgrades didn't go well. And then they like changed his spec right before qualifying. And then they were like, oh, it's dry. Let's put you on intermediates. And trashed his race. It's just like Montreal, right? Oh, it's raining. Let's put you on slicks.
Yep.
It's like Ferrari just can't get the weather right. They did the same thing to Vettel in like 18. And then Leclerc in Brazil when it was raining or dry, they put him on intermediates. So it's like Ferrari can't figure out weather.
And like, granted, it's England, so you never know with the rain. But like, everyone was saying the same thing. Oh, rain in 6 minutes, rain in this many laps, and they're all agreeing. And then they pit Leclerc for intermediate tires for the rain, like 5 minutes early. So by the time the rain actually got there, he was so far down the pack and his intermediate tires had already degraded so much that they were still useless in the rain.
Yep.
So
Ferrari doing Ferrari things.
I feel like we talk about Ferraris just every week.
Since we've had this podcast, we've talked about Ferrari's bad strategies.
Yeah, and I'm getting so tired of it.
But luckily for Leclerc, someone messed up worse than him. Now, they ended up still getting on a podium in third and fourth with McLaren, but man, did they throw away a win like 3 times.
Yeah, so they either pit too early or too late.
Every time they had a decision, they picked wrong.
Yeah, and you have 2 drivers, so, you know, like maybe 50-50 you'd get it right. And
nope.
No, just every single time rain came, they either choose too late, too early with Norris and Piastri, and then you had leads on both guys. And honestly, I thought Piastri was going to win there for a second. And then when they didn't pit him along with Lewis, I was like, they're trying to sabotage Piastri so Norris can get this win. I don't know. It was like...
He lost an entire pit stop because they left him out in the rain. Norris should have pit a lap earlier. They didn't do it. So they sent them both through in the rain. That's how Verstappen got back in the race. That's how Hamilton got in the race. And then the next time they went around, Norris pits, and then double stack. I understand you don't want him to lose 3 seconds, but you don't send him around in the rain again.
Yeah, you know what's like more than 3 seconds? An entire
lap in the rain.
Because Norris passed him immediately.
And Silverstone's a long track. It's not like Austria.
So McLaren thankfully has a good car and good drivers, so they looked very competitive. And if they would have had a better strategy or just followed a strategy, followed Mercedes or Red Bull, just didn't even do anything. We're just we're going to follow them exactly what they do.
Right.
They probably would have won.
Yeah, they would have won.
But I think they were like, no, we're not going to do that.
This is what we talked about with Ferrari a couple of years is in 2022, Ferrari had the car to win against Red Bull, but they didn't have the strategy. And that's where McLaren's at. They have the car to beat Red Bull. They've been faster than Red Bull the last few races, but they just don't have the strategy. Red Bull doesn't make mistakes.
And I hope it was a wake-up call. Either sacrifice one and then have a good strategy for another, but you can't just screw up both of your drivers.
Yeah.
So hopefully this was just bad. And I mean, Lando still finished on a podium, so it's not awful.
Right.
But I do think that
they lost a win.
Yeah, I think they could have been a 1-2 or a Lando Piastri, someone finishing first. So interesting choice, McLaren. Red Bull, what happened with Perez strategy wise? Not sure there either.
They mimicked Leclerc.
Yeah, Perez was down. He started pit lane anyway, so I wasn't expecting great things from him. But he kind of got the crappy end of strategy as well. But
why Red Bull followed Ferrari's suit was interesting. Red Bull knows better than to follow Ferrari.
Sure do. We all know better than that.
I don't even get paid to know better than that.
So,
but overall, the race was really exciting. I would definitely go watch highlights if you guys haven't seen it.
Aston looks strong.
They got double points.
Who else got points?
Hulkenberg got 6th. So that's awesome points for Haas.
Yeah, very good finish from them.
Albon ended up sneaking out a point. Sonoda, or 2, because then Sonoda got 1. So it was good.
Yeah.
Sargent was 11th. So
yeah,
so close.
It was a really fun race,
Yeah.
you know? And I don't know. I think the fact that Haas was better today, I think benefited on the other teams kind of having a bad strategy there. But
hey, you gotta be able to pick up the pieces.
Exciting. Just like so much fun for England. Like, you know, your boy finishing. Yeah. It's exciting.
I know. All right. Well, that's it. That's the end of the triple header. We got a 2-week break now, so hopefully you guys survive, and we'll see you next time.